Flosstube. I'm back. Welcome to Stitch with Mel. I am Melissa. If you haven't been around, welcome. And if you have, well, thanks for coming back. I'm sorry that I've been away. Life. This is Flosstube number 70. And yeah, there's been a lot. So buckle up. Grab a coffee, grab whatever you're drinking. I am drinking coffee, y'all know. It is 10:45 Tuesday evening, and it's a lot. So I have gotten a lot of messages, some text, some even just out in the open Facebook or Instagram messages and posts that have said, hey, we miss you, come back when you're going to post. All I can say is it's a lot. So, if you've been around for a while, I am very frank on my mental health status, and not saying that anything, is going wrong. It takes a lot to do this. I was talking to somebody not too long ago about Flosstube, and I said, it's not a business. Now, for some people, it is a business, and I get that. Some of you guys you've become very successful business people because of Flosstube, and I'm super proud of you. I have lots of friends who have become either designers or bag makers or notion makers or whatever because they started a Flosstube. So proud of you for that. For y'all, it is a business, and I get that. For the rest of us, it's an entertainment source. It's a time to spend together, share the love of our arts and crafts, and enjoy each other's presence when we're not around each other. A ton of us have actually become real life legit friends because of Flosstube, and that's amazing. But there are times when sometimes you just have to back off. You have to back away. Life happens, things happen, or it's just too much. I work in law enforcement during the week, and in gas station on the weekend. I talk nonstop. There are times when I don't want to come home and talk. I live by myself. Sometimes Aunt Donna and Uncle Gary see me. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes my parents see me. Sometimes they don't. Because I've been dealing with people all day long. So, and now that my paparazzi business is back up and running, I'm trying to do a live every night, every weeknight, and it's just a lot. So it has nothing to do with y'all. I'm okay. Y'all are perfectly fine. There are those of you who have kept in great touch with me. We're texting or we're messaging. Any form of communication is fine. I prefer not to talk verbally. I mean, there's a couple of people that I don't mind talking to, but they know to keep it short-lived. So, anyways, that's where I'm at on that. Life updates. For those of you who do follow me on social media, you know that I've been dealing with a concussion for the last 2 weeks. Yep, Melissa fell. I fell hard. I damaged my brain. I'm okay. It's just, it takes time to heal. So, I did all the scans. There's nothing broken, but I do have residual effects from that. Sometimes it's blurriness. Sometimes ringing in my ear, specifically in my right ear. Occasionally I'll have roaring in my left ear. But that happened, it'll be 2 weeks this Thursday. And when the doctor checked me out, when he was done with all of his exams, he was like, look, could be a couple of days, could be a few weeks. So, nothing. I don't have any idea. It has affected my stitching some. I'm less patient, and I'm guessing that's just because it's exhausting on my eyes sometimes. And yeah, so I did some stitching this week, but last week I didn't touch anything. Erica has gone to finish up her last week of camp, and then she's going back to school for her senior year. She graduates April 24th of 2024, the day after my birthday. So I'm excited for that. And then we'll see what the future holds. So the initial plan is a master's program, but we're not sure. You know, we got to wait and see what that entails. So Katie and Nick are rocking live. They're doing it. She went on a float trip a couple of weeks ago, got some pretty severe burns. She's over that. Well, not completely, but she's healing from that. So life lessons. Number one, always make sure that your sunscreen is in date, because if it goes out of date, it actually does the reverse effect. And number two, when you're going to be in the water for 6 hours, you need to reapply. I think it's every hour or something like that is what they recommend. Yeah, she came out like a lobster. She is a very white skin like me, like very pale, and absorbs the sun, like soaks it in. And she was blistered from head to toe, bless her heart. Trey is doing amazing, him and Madeline both. He's actually getting to stay with me for a little bit, off and on. He's taken on a night job just to help out some you know, billing stuff. And so it's just a seasonal job, but I do get to see him more, so that's fun. So he called me today and he's like, Mom, I know that you're being mom and you're trying to take care of me. Just know that, he said two things. You don't have to leave the light on. This light right here has not been turned off since I moved in here. I'm not sure that it was turned off before I moved in. Grandma moved out during COVID to stay with Aunt Donna so that they could take care of her and that she didn't have to go out to the public. And then everything happened across the street, and so we started staying here before we knew what we were going to do. That light has not been turned off, to my knowledge, since April 15th of 2020. So last night, this morning, he turned it off, and I told him quickly to turn it back on. So, and then he said that I didn't need to leave the hall light on, and I was like, Bobby, that's my security. Like, that's my light. It ain't got nothing to do with you. So, he's being sweet. Anyways, that's pretty much life updates, I guess. Aunt Donna and Uncle Gary have their puppy back. I can't remember the last time I talked to y'all, if I talked to y'all about their puppy. But she went to training, and she's back home and rotten as ever. Training did her good, but she's sweet. So, Daddy has had a hip replacement since I saw y'all. And bless his heart, he can't break the habit of sitting Indian style or crisscross applesauce or whatever you might call it. So he's had a couple of incidents where he's popped that thing out of socket. But otherwise, his pain is down, so that's a good thing. Changes at work. Few changes, things going on. So, you know, I am now almost 9 minutes in, and all I've talked about is life. So, let me get into this. All right. First, let me show you, before I do anything, because I want to get this out of my way and not spill any coffee on it, let me show you a couple of finishes that I have. Yes, I have finishes. I'm so excited. So I finished this actually last week. This is by an unknown designer. I'm not really sure. It was a weird situation. I won't go into it, but I love this piece. It's super cute. I love those blues. And I have consulted with a couple of people and have decided I'm going to do a flat fold with this. And I'm going to use this as my inside piece of the flat fold and this as my backing. So this will actually be against this and then behind it, and then this will be on the inside. So super cute. I love that. I'll put that over here so it's out of the way. And then this I actually finished last night. This was bigger than I thought it was going to be. This is called Crows in the Pumpkin Patch by Teresa Miller of Teresa's Primitive Treasures. It came out of the 2020 fall issue of the PMPS magazine. So when I subscribed to the magazine, I did go through and downloaded tons of patterns from the back issues, and this was one of them. It is stitched on 14 count Ada by Fiber on a Whim, Cafe au Lait. And this is the beautiful piece. Of course it's not ironed because hello, it's me. This is bigger than I expected it to be because I initially thought that I was going to do it as a flat fold and put it on my bookshelf. I'm not sure. I kind of feel like it might need to be framed now. So it could even be a small pillow. But I initially, with the flat fold, I thought that I would put this as a backing color and then this cute pattern with the blackbirds on either the inside or the back flap. And I don't know yet because it's bigger than I thought. Okay. I do have some things that I've gotten in, so let me go through those real quick. Before I do that, let me just say, if you have not heard yet, which I'm sure that you have by now, especially if you're a follower of mine, because I kind of went overboard on my excitement for her. Annie, the Proper Stitcher, is now designing. So she released her Etsy the other day, officially. I'm trying to get that light to quit glaring. She is out in the wild. She has several shops are starting to take her on. She's already done a meet and greet. I mean, she's just rocking and rolling. So I have known about this for a little while. Can't share secrets. It's not my place. I don't do it. And then, I don't know, a couple of months ago, she asked me just to help her with some wording on some things. And so I kind of became her unofficial editor, which I love because, you know, my passion is writing. How's that a cross stitch? And so I got to help her to word some things and write some things and write some letters and do some kind of clerical kind of stuff. So excited for her. I'm excited for her and Matt. Matt has been helping her. They've had, you know, some family things going on, and so it's kind of been helpful for him to be able to just be in there with her, supporting her. She was texting me when she was doing a couple of designs. She's like, what do you think about this? And I was like, oh, da, 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 da. You know, I would talk to her, and she's like, well, Matt says, and I was like, I mean, Matt's there, and he has an opinion too, so, so yeah, it's been great, and I'm super excited for her. So, Alicia and I, the flamingo stitcher. I'm sorry, Alicia. I don't remember. That's horrible. I told Annie I should have written notes before I recorded this because I'm on my brain. Anyways, we'll call it concussion brain and go on. Alicia is, she was wanting to do a Sal. And I said, well, of course we are going to do a Sal. And so I posted a picture of the Sal name. P.S. I think it's P.S. New Beginnings. It's not New Starts because I said don't do that because, you know, it's a start. Anyways, it's a start along, it's a stitch along, it's whatever. Aunt Donna, do not come after me. Yes, I'm involving myself in this one. Aunt Donna wants me just to do all the finishes because that's what I promised myself I was going to do, but there's just some things that have to happen. So, this is the last week of the month, so I will be starting the first week of next month. I'm going to have all of my patterns in. I've got all of the patterns coming, the first set. Yes, there's more coming. And she will be making more. I don't have all of this stuff kitted up yet because I'm waiting on all of it to get in. But feel free to join us. Please use the hashtag so that we can, you know, cheer each other on, do all of the things. I'm super excited. And Annie says thank y'all. I'm just going to speak for her. Annie says thank y'all for all the support, all the love. I'm going to start crying. So, we have, y'all know, we've talked about it before. We talk about it every time we record. We have an amazing community. Annie is not the only friend of mine who's designing. She's just the newest. I did the same thing with Chrissy. I didn't know Becca as well at the time, but now, you know, I'm like, I need to do all of Becca's things. So, Nancy texted me the other day and she's like, what's your 2024 plans? And I was like, all of the new people, I need to stitch all of their things. I don't know if I'm going to stitch all of them, honestly, but I do need to stitch something from everybody. And honestly, my plan before everybody just started blowing up the whole internet with all of their amazing designs, my plan for 2024 was to stitch people that I've never stitched before. Now, I've stitched Chrissy, but I've got to catch up. She's got so many. So I'm going to get more Chrissy done, and now I've got Annie, and I've never stitched a Becca, so I need to do hers. And there's a ton more. If you go follow my Etsy shop, yeah, I was about to say Pinterest, but no, it's on my Etsy. Go follow my Etsy. It's public, it's open, and I have categories now. I've got mental health, I've got quotes, I've got movie stuff, I've got if it's specific movies or shows, you know, Friends, Office, that's for my kids. Gilmore Girls, that's for me. I've got some Disney. I've got like Winnie the Pooh. I've got Wizard of Oz. I've got Wicked, because Nancy wants to do a Wicked sale. I've got, I don't know, I've got a lot of inspirationals, all kinds of things. So anyways, that's my plan for next year. Okay. Now I'm going to do all the things that I've gotten in the mail. I can't remember, I don't think that I've shown y'all this since I got it. I actually did record this video before, but I was an emotional wreck and I just deleted it. So many people said post it. Angie said post it. Angie Tiny House Stitcher, she's like, post it. I'm like, delete. It was in 2 parts. I think Katie called in the middle of it. I'm crying the whole time. I was like, no, I'm a mess. I ordered this from Stitch Etc. I called, or I texted Kim and said, can I call you? And she's like, well, of course. So I called her and I was like, hey, I just found this pattern. I don't know if y'all can get it or not. She looks at Ashley. My imagination says she looks at Ashley. I'm not sure where Ashley was. I heard Ashley in the background. And she says, can we get this? And Ashley's like, hang on, let me look. And so she looked. She was like, yeah, I can get that. No big deal. I said, cool. Don't kit it up because there's a lot of colors. I'm going to do it probably in DMC. I said, but I want the pattern and then I need the material, the fabric. And so this is actually going to be for my boss. It's a lot. But her plan is to retire, I think, in 2 years. So we'll see what happens. It is Stony Creek, Ecclesiastes 3:1. And the size, I got 40 count. So I'm not sure what the size is going to be. They sent me 12 by 41.5. It's beautiful, beautiful fabric. And the highest thing that this thing goes to is 6 3/4 by 39.5. So they did the math. I think Ashley did it. This is Lightning. I think that color's pretty true. My light's being brilliant right now. It's like a blue-gray. It is fabulous. So just to give you an idea of what it looks like. I mean, this is the width. And then it's really long. Long. So looking forward to that. Unless some miracle happens and I get a whole bunch done this year, that will be a next year start. But I have it in my house. So I will kit it up. I also text her, I think that same week, and I was like, ma'am, y'all do all of your recording in front of your floss wall? That makes me want all of those flosses. I received my PMPS Summer Edition. I love all the beehive things. We're not going to do a flip through. The Patriotics is what I like out of this issue. I love the flag long may you stitch. That will probably happen. Not immediately, but who is that by? Lucy Beam. I've never done a Lucy Beam, so there you go. That can be a new start for next year. Yeah, that's my biggest love out of this one. I like the beehive stuff. We'll see. I would rather stitch people that I know. I received my summer kit from Kimberly Jolly at Fat Quarter Shop. And the pattern is You Are My Sunshine. And it's a beautiful house. And I just have to show y'all this fabric. This is crazy stuff. This is 14 count Aida. And it's printed, of course. So you have sky and then it goes down to sand. There's specific instructions on how to make the house square up on that sand. I love that. That's so unique. So that won't be done this year. I don't know that that'll be done next year. I've done plenty of it, so Emma stuff. I love it. But I have it. These are the colors. Aren't they beautiful? And they sent me this cool pressing mat by Cottage Garden Threads. So it's like a felty material, kind of thick. It's a good little material. So I'm excited to have that because y'all know ironing is not my forte. I don't have a reason to because I have a fine. I also received from Jody with Steel City Stitchers. There's stuff all over me now. There's her beautiful card. This is 18 count Aida. And I have this gorgeous purple, which feels Halloween-y. This beautiful aqua blue. Love the modeling on that. That could be all kinds of things. I know some pieces are coming down the line from Annie. I think I'll probably go on that. And then this just feels fall to me. It's like a mustard color. Kind of a marigold color, actually, a little bit more gold. So I was excited to get those. And she messaged me and said I needed to come to their retreat next spring. And I have things up my sleeve, like plans for what I want to do next year, but we'll just have to see if I can save up and do it all. That would be fun. I've never been to Pittsburgh. My daddy has. There's lots of steel stuff up there. Nancy hopped onto one of my lives the other day and said, I said, hey girl, I need to open your package. And she was like, yeah, it's to be used. Well, I wanted to open it with you guys. I wanted to like do like a reveal kind of thing. So it's opened, and it's a blue bag. Look how gorgeous that is. Now, if y'all don't know, the Bougie Stitchers Nancy and Jenny quilt. That is so beautiful. And then on my color's blue. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. There's a card. Oh, that's a cute card. Look at that. I have a feeling I'm gonna cry. They said, I'm not a writer, nor do I articulate very well. I'm about sure Nancy's writing this based on the writing. I recognize it. I made the project bag with all my scraps, making all the scraps whole again. Please enjoy it. I will. I promise you I will. It's beautifully whole. That's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you, ladies. Let me tell you, if y'all are not friends with the Bougie Stitchers, fix yourself. Their motto is to straighten each other's crowns, straighten other ladies' crowns, all of the forms, and they do a fabulous job of that. Wow. Okay. I ordered 2 sweatshirts and a t-shirt from Athena, Stitching Goddess. Names, they're not happening tonight. Athena Spore. And I didn't bring them out. I'm sorry, but y'all saw them on my post, and I'm sure that you've seen me wearing them. One was a mental health. She did a huge campaign for Mental Health Month, and I got the one for PTSD and anxiety. The semicolon is 2 different colors, pink and blue. I actually wore it today. And then I got the 50 whips ago. What does that one say? Oh, it's funny. I was saying 50 whips ago or something like that. And then I got... Shh, I'm counting. That's what it was. The t-shirt was shh, I'm counting. So, with that, this was made by Stitching Arcade. ProjectSemicolon.com is the website that they did. And so they sent this free pattern. Y'all are not going to get the pattern, sorry. Anyways, and on the back they put all of the colors that you could use for depending on what you wanted. So, yeah. Y'all know my story. I don't have to go into all of that. But I will be stitching this for sure. So, one of the things that, it's a military thing. IGY6 semicolon or semicolon IGY6. The story is not over. I've got your back. I've got your 6. And so that's something that I've always said with my post. you know, the Blue Line family, etc. And so I appreciated the semicolon. Means more, even more now than it has before. So, yay. The story isn't over. Okay. Some of y'all know that I had surgery back in April. That story isn't over either. When there's more to tell, there will be more said. But for those of you who have been checking in on me, I appreciate it. The story continues. That narrative is not over. Let's look at WIPs. Now we're 30 minutes in and we have not shown stitching except the 2 finishes. Sorry. Alright, and I have seen tons of WIP parades. Y'all, I'm so proud of y'all. Like, there are gobs of people like, hey, we're halfway through the year. Let's show what we've been doing. And there's been so much work done. So I'm proud of everybody. I have not touched all of my WIPs yet, admittedly. I have now finished, well, I'm honestly not sure. I cannot remember if I have shown these. We used to say COVID brain, now I'll say concussion brain. I honestly cannot remember if I've shown this or not. So we will anyway. Since my start of the year, I have finished this. And I want to frame this in a yellow frame. And it hasn't happened yet. That needs to go in my kitchen because my kitchen is kind of in lemons and gray. I have finished Granita. This needs to be framed. It is not ironed. I was so excited to finish that. It was a beautiful stitch. I loved stitching it. It was a fun stitch. I just wanted to see it finish. I have finished Tea Time. This is an It's So Emma. And I thought I was going to do a flat fold. That was bigger than I expected. And Aunt Debbie's piece. Red House Sampler. I'm about certain that I've shown you guys, but enjoy it. And Grandma said she's going to get it framed for her, so we need to make that happen, Aunt Donna. And I'm pretty sure I've shown you this. This is a birthday gift from my supervisor boss. She's only been called boss, but whatever. She's probably going to watch this. Anyways, I love her. So she was like, you like all the other things? I got the diamond painting. I was like, I do love diamond painting. And I finished it in like 2 nights. Okay. On to the WIPs. This is Little Pink Houses, Annie B's folk art. I don't know why I haven't finished this, but TBH, I'm just being lazy. I'm off on counting. Counting is hard. I have not ironed, but I just need to finish that house and this thing will be done. That'll be done. That'll happen this week. There's no reason for that not to be done. Let me just keep going here with what I'm working on. This is called Pumpkin Patch. This is a cross stitch classic from For the Love of Cross Stitch, September of 1989. This is what it's going to look like. I love that quilt with my everything. I am stitching it on Color and Cotton hand dyed fabric by Color and Cotton. It's pear wood and it is a 14 count. And so I have way too much fabric. I need to cut that off while I'm thinking about it. I finished the outline and worked on the tree. This is where I started at the beginning of the year. That's all I had done. So I busted tail this weekend and got this outlining done. And then I worked some on the tree last week. So note to self, Melissa, go ahead and cut that fabric down. Oh, you've got it out. That's really, really fun fabric to stitch on. If you've never stitched on it, it's so flexible and just light. It's a good one. All right, y'all remember these. Sorry, Grandma. Disappointment, I know. Bless her heart. She just gets left in the dark. This is, let me get the right one. Whispered by the Wind Summer Homes. I started this like 2 years ago for Grandma. And I got this middle one done. This was already done. This hasn't been started. Well, it has been started too. There's white in there. I don't think you can see it with, well, you might be able to see a little bit. But I need to get on that. Shame on me. And did I touch Autumn at all? No, I did not. Autumn needs to be touched too. So, yeah, I don't know why those are so hard for me to work on. I really don't. It's not hard stitching. It is a lot of counting. It's a lot of back stitching too. The Night Before Christmas by Chrissy, Family of Farm Girl. This is what it looks like. It is also not hard to do. This is also on Pearwood. Look at stuff falling out of the bag. Nothing's ironed. It's just not. So I started working on the mouse bed. Got the 2 mice done. Got the top of the bed done. And let me tell you honestly what happened. I was at work. I did a lot of stitching at my weekend job. And for whatever reason, I didn't have all of my colors with me. And so I was like, So I just skipped over to the bed and started working on it. Now I have all of the colors to finish off Santa and Mrs. Claus. And I need to get that tree done. It's not hard. Just need to focus. Sometimes it is hard to stitch at work. It just kind of depends on my mood. Let's see. Hawk Run Hollow. Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. Y'all know what that looks like. I'm not pulling the whole cover thing out. So I worked on this since the beginning of the year. And that blue is gorgeous. So that one, if you're not, well, I should probably show you. If you're not aware, that particular block is filled with black. That's the one I'm working on. So, we took a time out. Actually, I think I was just like, you know, sometimes I do those knots where I stitch like an hour on each piece. And I think that's what happened that night. This is Let Love Rain. Y'all know this gorgeous thing, don't you? This is huge. Gigumbus. This is Tracy Kogut, by the way, just in case. It's it's a big one. It's a big one. It's a lot. So, I can't remember where I showed y'all last, but that's where I'm at. I am doing 1/1. This is Mushroom Lagana 28 count. That feels like so much smaller, but I'll take my word for it. But yeah, that's 1/1. This is the very first piece I've ever done 1/1 on. Ever. So, patience, a lot of light, and I don't think that's 28 count. Sure. That looks tiny. I can't stitch it tired. Counting is hard. I cannot stitch that tired. Autumn Town. Autumn Lane, I mean. No. Autumn Town. I was right the first time, Melissa. This is a stitch along with Angie Perry. Tiny House Stitcher. And it is being stitched on this beautiful, ooh, I'm not sure where the label is. It's somewhere. This is a sage color. I just can't remember who the designer is right off. And so, this is such easy stitching. It's fun to do. I've gotten these trees done, this part of the house closed in. And I'm pretty sure I got this all done since I saw y'all last with this one. I love this one. It was sitting in front of me forever, and I was like, I could literally pay attention to this for like days on end, or I could get some more work done on other things that I'm supposed to be getting done. So, it's super fun. This is my first actual working with all of the called fors as they were intended. That's Week Style Works Gloriana, I think. And I love it. It's so great. It's such a good stitch. Sorry, it is late. My throat's dry, so I'm drinking more coffee than I usually do. This is Changed World. Y'all know I absolutely love this one. This is, I call it the sequel to Seeking Refuge. I don't know that it was a sequel, but I think there's a third one now. I'm pretty sure I remember that. If it's the one I'm thinking about, I want it as well. But that is just gorgeous. Which she already knows I'm obsessed with her work. And I started on the row of houses. I think you guys have seen this. I think. If not, go ahead and look at it again. It's beautiful. But that's where I'm at. And so, like, after the row of houses, I have the border to do. And then the 2 flower pots here. And then all of this, just the work by my hand. So, that's exciting. Now, the border's nothing to laugh at. But, because it's tiny stuff. Counting is hard. I'm off somewhere on the border, so I've got to figure out what I can do to rescue it, or I'll have to take it all out again. We're going to try to rescue. This is Crosswoods. This is a Long Dog sampler. This is my first Long Dog sampler. It won't be my last, but it's so much tedious work. It's not my most favorite thing to do, it's beautiful, not fun, if that makes sense. Like, it's so much counting that it's not a relaxing piece, but I love it because it's so beautiful. And that color that I picked, of course, helps. But counting is hard. So I'm enjoying the piece just because it's so beautiful. And there are so many other pieces that I want to do of theirs, like one of these years, but it's not priority. I'm not running out to buy it. I did start something new with Pam from Just Keep Stitching. She wanted to do a stitch along in honor of her 25th year of breast cancer survival, tackling, and etc. I text Steph. I said I'm in, kit it for me, make it blue. So I don't think it's any coincidence at all that that right there says PS for Pam. Or, yeah. I feel like I'm probably going to change the initials on some of these to honor my grandpa and my granddie and my uncle, and we'll see. So enough of that. I'm gonna get some ugly text. Stop crying. This is the gorgeous color that I got. These are absolutely beautiful. Week Style Works. She picked Sky. I literally said just pick blue and make it work. And navy. So I'm just going to pull out a couple of them so you can see. Sky and navy. Oh, man. I text her. I said, you did good, sis. You did good. And then for the fabric, she picks XU Designs Dove in a 32 count. And I stitched Courage. I really wanted this color to come out good. Oh, number one, it's not ironed, but you're just not getting the, it's more gray. It seems on my side it looks brown, but it's more gray. But it's beautiful. So we'll see. We'll see what's gonna happen. I originally told Pam, I texted her, hey, I'm gonna join the stitch along. I'm gonna start it and then I will work in 2024 on it. Because it's also my first praiseworthy stitches, so you know, I'm going with the theme. And then I stitched the C. No, I didn't. I stitched the R because I did a center start. I stitched the R. Was done with it that night. You know, I got to start. And then I was like, hey, dummy, now you have a WIP, which means you can work on it this year. So the other day, I was feeling sorry for myself. Came in and stitched up that Courage like it happened in one night. It is also you can't be tired while you're working on this kind of stitch. Y'all know I have two Lady of the Flags going on. One for my mom and one for myself. I have touched both of them so far in this journey. This is Mom's. Bless it. I know, I should have ironed. So that's where I'm at on hers. This is also a stitch along with Angie. I need to talk to her. I haven't talked to her in a while. She's had a lot going on. I've had a lot going on. And this is mine, and I am obsessed with that blue. So if you join the Mirabilia Lady of the Flag Facebook group, there are color conversions for multiple colors. There's a teal version, there's that blue version. I think there's a yellow, there might be a red, I don't remember for sure. Red, I don't know why you wanted a red, it's the flag, it's stunning. Anyways, so if that's something that you're interested in doing, join the group, go in there, it's under files in the top, and you're just changing out like 4 colors, I think. For those of you who are scared of Mirabilia, stop it. And from my understanding, Nora Corbett's the exact same way. The color blocking is amazing. Like, I was concerned. I was afraid of all kinds of confetti, and it's so good. The movement is just so good on the colors. I'm kind of sort of a little ashamed of this next one. Nope, it wasn't this one. Never mind. This one, my sister asked me, she's like, how are you doing on my lady? I said, well, I hope to be done by your birthday, which is in October. I started her face. You see some skin color there. Her hair. You see the hair. All of this is done. I've got some handwork to do. Except the beading, of course. This is massive. There's a lot of beads mixed in with the little colors. Counting. So, I'm going to try to apply myself in August to work on that. I'm going to do my sales with Annie, and then I'm going to apply myself to Celtic Lady. I have some exciting news. I have not seen it yet because I had a customer walk in and right in the middle of listening to Gary talk about it. But apparently, Heartland Samplery, Heartstring Samplery, sorry, so sorry, has designed another vintage song for this. Where the heck is the cover sheet? There we go. For this little collection. This is Whip It Good. That's not coming through at all. It's Who Let the Frogs Out. He said something along the lines of, I heard it and then I had to get up and I was so mad because I didn't rewind it. He said, I hope I don't jinx somebody or something like that. And then he was like, Who let the frogs out? And I was like, I saw a glimpse of the material, the fabric. I'm going to have to go back and look at the video. Is what I might have to do because I do want that pattern with that fabric. It's very bright, vibrant. I'm wanting to say it was green and some colors, like some tie-dye situation going on. My Flosstube watching is way, way, way behind, but the ones I've been watching are so, so, so good. I should start tagging people. I would miss somebody though. Oh my gosh, it's been so good. So, Whip It Good, I am stitching on Stonehenge by Bestitch Me. It is a 40 count, and I am doing 1/1. I lied earlier when I said I've never done 1/1. This was my first. This is where I'm at. It's so fun. Now, mind you, like, that's one page. Like, if I could ever finish that. So, I mean, I'm half done. So, I just need to work more on that. And then I need to get WIP it good. I mean, who let the frogs out? That's funny. So if you don't know anything about her little collection, she did kind of 80s, 90s songs, and she applied it to cross stitch. That's the gist of it. It was fun, kind of retro and stuff. Autumn at Huckran Hollow. I got tired of Tom. Tom was getting on my nerves. I'm really not sure why. I cannot remember why. I think I was just moody. So, I moved up to the witch, and I didn't get far at all. Like, this is one of those nights when I was stitching for an hour. And I worked on Tom, and I said, nope, I'm going up here. So we'll just call this a start of a block, because, yeah. Poor Tom. He needs to be finished. I'm sorry, Tom. He's like, why did you abandon me for the witch? It was one of those days. I didn't have any compassion. Alright, this is the one I'm ashamed of, because I should have finished this. I was stitching hard and trying to work on getting things done the other night. I know exactly what I was doing. I was goal-oriented the other night. It had nothing to do with enjoyment. See, I even left it in a hoop. I think I told Annie that I was working on it while I was watching somebody on Flosstube. And I got the Mayor in Merry Christmas done. But since you guys have seen it, I know for sure I've got that, and yeah, that may be it. But here's where I am. This is a stitch along with Annie. And I can't remember who else is in this stitch along. There's a lot of people that joined her after, I don't know, the first couple of months. So she's got a lot of people in it. But there for a minute, we were texting each other saying, pull out quicker Christmas. And she's gotten busy doing everything else. And then I kind of got busy doing other things, so we quit. This is my baby girl's reproductive system piece that she asked for. For those of you who don't know, my middle daughter struggles with infertility issues. She has PCOS. She has severe endometriosis. She is 22 years old and rocking it like a rock star. She's an LPN, works at the prison, and calls me on a regular basis crying because it hurts so bad, and then goes in and deals with all of that. So she said, hey, will you make me a reproductive system? Actually, it came out more like, hey, will you cross-stitch me some ovaries? And I was like, so I found this. It is a beautiful pattern. I don't have a cover sheet for it. I don't know why. But, so I can't show you the finished piece, what it's going to look like. But, color blocking is not so fun on this. It's okay. But when I do this, I think about her. And now my own little issues. But that's a whole nother ballgame. It's about her. It is not about me. So, on this side, I have some leaves to do. And then some floral work, I think, up here. And then I have a whole nother tube to do. And all of that. So, it's got a little ways. Her birthday's in November. I'd like to have it done by then. It might could happen. I cannot stitch that at work on the weekends because the pattern is so tiny. And Donna printed it for me. She didn't blow it up. but it's so tiny, so I do it at home when I'm under the magnifying lamp. And the last WIP of the night is my African Queens. There's a picture. I love them. Confetti heavy. I can't remember what I showed y'all the last time. So, the stitching that I do on it really is fill-in stuff. It feels like to me, but I know that it does like have a purpose. I stitched on this end. This is how wide it is. This is the center. So I'm gonna be filling up a lot of this material. I mean, it is a full coverage piece, but I stitched side to side to make sure that I had enough room because I was really afraid. Like, it was close. So, but that's the stitching that I got done. Confetti heavy. I cannot remember how many colors is in it, but there's a lot. That's for a friend of mine, and I really do need to work on it. His mom's like 81, 82. And I said I would get it done for her. No pressure, right? Grandma's gonna be like 150 before she even thinks about going to see Jesus. So the kids have already said that she's gonna outlive them all. Anyways, that's it. It was only an hour. I was thinking it was gonna be longer than that. So I would like to say that I will see you guys next week. I would like to say that I'll see you guys on a specific date. I'm not going to promise anything. I am trying to get more things done. Motivated to get more things done. So, maybe. My orders have picked up with my paparazzi business, and that's awesome and also priority because, you know, it's a moneymaker. So, you know, we'll see what happens. But I do want you guys to continue to support all of the Flosstubers, especially the ones who are like, you know, they're on regular. And, you know, be kind. That's the biggest thing. In a world where everything is so chaotic right now. Like, we thought 2020 and 2021 were chaotic. Now it's 2023 and everybody feels like they need to tell everybody else their business and how they feel about things. Stop. Think about what you're doing. Think about why you're doing it. Does your opinion matter? And is it being positive? And take care of the people that you're, you know, enjoying company with. If you don't like somebody, keep scrolling. So, as the bougie stitchers do say, you know, straighten each other's crowns. It's not about making somebody feel bad about themselves for a show that they're doing for entertainment and they're not getting paid for. And most of us are using our phones or, you know, a small computer or something. It's not like we're all big tech savvy people. Be calm. I have watched some people get really hurt because their floss tubes turned sour. Just because people wanted to criticize and think that they were experts. So my protective nature wanted to take care of business. My common sense side says, what's the point? Because when people just want to be mean, they just want to be mean. It's a bully system. So for those of you who I love and adore and cherish and do treasure our friendships, thanks for being here. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for texting me and messaging me and commenting and saying, you know, come back. I really do want to be here with you guys. Most of the time there's an issue. It's not just because I'm being lazy. Although there are sometimes, you know, it's, I don't know what time it is now. It's probably like 11:30 or something. Like, I could be sleeping, but I felt okay. So a friend of mine texted me, but right before I recorded it, and was like, "Hey, what you doing?" And I was like, "Well, I need to go put some orders together, and I need to record a Flosstube." And then I was like, "I'm in casual clothes. I'm not, everything's not done up. It's okay. It's all right." So, all right, enough rambling. I love you. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other, and get some stitching done. So I will see you soon, probably closer to Instagram or Facebook, but I will definitely try to be on here soon. So until next time,